violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Devastated by the murder of their daughter, now urging her killer to turn themselves in. 22-year-old Esmeralda McGee from Harbor City was shot and killed in South LA back on January 24th.
Dang. And Shorty was tough, okay? She definitely a beautiful woman. A lot of these chicks are getting taken out. We already know that the Super Gremlin or Burrito Gremlin does not care about ending the life of a woman, let alone a beautiful woman like Esmeralda. So, with the family asking the Super Gremlin to turn themselves in, not likely, but I get it.
On January 24th, the mother to a 5-year-old girl was out with friends when she was shot and killed. 2 others were shot as well. They survived.
Wow. So she's out with her girlfriends. They probably dubbed her, you know, or dubbed the dudes who tried to holler at them. These dudes got offended, and like I said, man, these Super Gremlins, they don't care. I mean, how many times have we done a video on these women dubbing the dude and then him reacting violently? It's all over my channel.
Her distraught family today holding a fundraiser at Harbor City Recreation Center Park.
This is so sad and it's so hurtful. I don't know how to explain my emotions. I don't know how to explain this feeling that I have. But if it was turned around and the shoe on the other foot, I would do anything that I can possibly do to help out another family because we need justice. And
Esmeralda.
And that's sad, man. That is sad.
His mother says investigators told her they are following up on a video that shows the gunman getting out of a vehicle, opening fire, then leaving. Still, no arrests have been made.
There's not any type of amount of money that can ever bring them back.
A heartfelt Barbara Wynn speaking to ABC7 News Saturday afternoon. Wynn's brother, 28-year-old Alameda County Sheriff's Office recruit David, was shot and killed by random gunfire last month while driving home on Interstate 580 in Oakland.
Woo! The roads ain't safe. Y'all know how Oakland get down.
Now, another man, Gene Ransom, also shot and killed while driving through the East Bay City on Interstate 880 Friday night.
Dang. Just clapping on the freeway, drive by this, drive by that. I mean, this is truly abhorrent. Oh, man. Nobody's gonna cover these stories. Nobody's gonna spread awareness. They may not even warn you that the highways and byways are infested with Super Gremlins who's shooting indiscriminately.
Exactly 1 month after Wynn's death, and on the same day he would have graduated from the Sheriff's Academy.
I just learned about it today. And when I heard about it, I just started crying.
Dang, and his sister fine too. It's crazy.
Friday's shooting is the 5th fatal incident on Oakland's freeways in just the past 9 months. Violence that's taken the lives of not just Gene Ransom and David Wynn, but also 23-month-old Jasper Wu.
No, not Jasper. Killing kids, man. Where have we seen this before? Where have we seen this before? This is crazy.
Highway shootings have increased in the past 2 years tremendously. Very little arrests, nothing much being done about it.
And you know she's woke, unfortunately, right? But you know she's woke, man. California, Asian. All of it screams woke. Now, can we fault her for this? No. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully she wasn't one of those people out there screaming defund the police and all this other nonsense. Okay? Criminal justice reform, bail reform, all this stuff, right? Hopefully she wasn't the one who was screaming for that, because I can almost guarantee that these guys who shot up the freeway definitely got priors and are probably out on parole right now.
Now, Wynn says she's calling for action, pleading with elected officials to do something to stop the senseless violence.
Protect your communities, because you don't want that to happen to your child, your significant other, your parent.
One thing that's been discussed is adding a camera system along freeways in Oakland, a potential answer that so far has remained elusive.
Camera system on Oakland on the freeways. How much is that going to cost? Seriously, what's the budget on that? That sounds like a lot of spending. Whew. How about you just put more officers on the freeway? How about that?
But the problem, local officials say, is out of their control. Since the freeways are owned by the state, it's up to Sacramento to take action.
Wow. That's crazy.
With local hands saying they're only capable of doing so much, some, like Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf and City Council member Loren Taylor, say they support pressuring the state to take action with surveillance cameras.
So they said, don't talk to us. Take it up with my boss.
I think that is something that's important. We can't have a CHP officer everywhere all the time on our freeway system.
Well, y'all shouldn't have defunded the police, and maybe you would be able to have officers everywhere at all times.
So it's important that we take advantage of technology to do that.
But with Wen receiving no leads or developments on her brother's case, she says she'll keep fighting.
I'm just a small little Asian girl, not really much power, small little voice, but here I am today.
Not just for David, but also for other victims too.
Someone step up. Someone do something about it, please, because the past 2 years, you just see these crimes increasing. It's not going to stop.
You heard her, the past 2 years. What happened within the past 2 years that really got this crime wave started? And I ain't talking about the pandemic. Okay, we already passed it. We already know that ain't the reason. What happened that really got this crime wave going?
It's not going to stop unless someone with power takes action.
In Oakland, Tim Johns, ABC 7 News.
At 10, San Francisco police officers believe one person is to blame for at least 2 bank robberies that hit the city today. You'll notice here in these surveillance photos from 2 banks that they appear to show a robbery.
Oh, man. We got super gremlins out here really robbing banks now. And honestly, I don't know the logistics to robbing banks, especially in modern day when they got all these cameras, all this surveillance. But this dude feels bold enough that he could just walk in with a 49ers hat and a mask and just rob the bank.
Every suspect wearing similar clothing. In one incident, a vest appears to be covering the same sweatshirt worn in the other. Investigators are looking into whether a third robbery at a separate bank is connected to those 2 other cases. A surveillance photo from the third bank shows a robber wearing different clothing. The banks that got hit today are on 16th Street, 19th Street, and Mission Street. Those locations spread out over miles.
Dang. I mean, he moving, though. It's like a triangle of bank robberies
across the city. We have no reports of anyone being injured in any of those cases. If you know of anything that may help investigators, though, you're asked to call SFPD's tip line at 415-575-4444.
In this latest incident, at least 2 suspects were seen attacking a student in the Willowbrook area.
And Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth is there live with the latest details. Steve, Leo?
Yeah, and that brazen, bold attack happening in broad daylight in this area. We talked to a couple of parents who are very concerned, telling their kids to be very careful when they're out and about, and telling their kids not to be doing this when they're out walking, possibly becoming an easy target.
Wow, so they said don't be on your phone. Do not be on your phone. And look at the dude behind him. He obviously ain't taking the advice.
Leo?
Yeah, and that brazen, bold attack happening in broad daylight.
Look at my man right here. It looked like he got a lottery ticket. I thought he was on the phone. Looked like he got a lottery ticket.
In this area, we talked to a couple of parents who are very concerned, telling their kids to be very careful when they're out and about, and telling their kids not to be doing this when they're out walking, possibly becoming an easy target for criminals. Here's more. Disturbing cell phone video of a violent crime. At least 2 suspects attacking a student. The attackers punching, kicking, and grabbing the
Who punches like that? Who punches like that? We already know. If you ever been to the community and seen a fight, you know who's punching like that. Sisters.
The attackers punching, kicking, and grabbing the student before detectives say the bandits nabbed the victim's cell phone and cash. Crime happening Wednesday after 3 o'clock.
Damn. Robbing them for the cash. And honestly, it looks like some female Burrito Gremlins or some... It's a lot of Afro-Latina vibes in this area, so... Whew. You can't even be walking on the street on your phone. You got female super gremlins jumping you and robbing you. And honestly, when it comes to these students, I'm not going to say that I'm happy that this is happening, but these are the main ones who are pushing this woke movement. So you kind of get what you deserve. You kind of get what you're coming for. You kind of get what you're asking for when you promote these ideologies that, quite frankly, contribute to the crime issue that we have now.
The bandits nabbed the victim's cell phone and cash. Crime happening Wednesday after 3 o'clock here at Avalon in El Segundo, near this Burger King restaurant and near the student's school. No word on any injuries the students suffered. Authorities now looking into video of that attack and whether it is connected to a similar crime earlier in the day. This time in the 7200 block of Melrose Avenue near Fairfax High School, 2 suspects recorded attacking 2 sisters walking home from school.
Dang. They are active.
The suspects punching and pulling the girls down by their hair. The suspects forcing the girls to hand over their...
Okay, yeah, these are definitely Burrito Gremlins.
...cell phones while continuing to clench the victim's hair until they unlock their phones. Investigators say the 2 bandits then fleeing the scene, jumping into a waiting vehicle and taking off with 2 other suspects in the car. Detectives with the LAPD and sheriff's departments working together, saying there's been roughly a half a dozen of these brazen attacks and thefts within the last week. They are investigating whether the violent crimes could be connected to the same 4 suspects. We talked to a parent who's very concerned, given the bandits remain on the loose.
I'm really concerned about that because, you know, there is a lot of people that they're doing that now. I'm really concerned because I have, 3 kids, they're in school.
Detectives warning parents to alert their kids to practice safety and be aware of their surroundings when walking home from school.
A good rule of thumb, when you're out in public, you're walking around, keep your head up, be aware of your surroundings.
I'm sorry, but that's not gonna stop the Burrito Gremlins from robbing you. Seriously. These girls were walking in too, and they still got robbed.
It limits the chance of you becoming a victim. Suspects are looking for crimes of opportunity. And if you're unaware of your surroundings, it just increases the possibility that you can become a victim.
Mariana Batista giving her children the same message.
They're like waiting for you to be like in your cell phone and not pay attention, and so that it will be,
Given the bandits are still out there, you kids, listen to your parents. Do not be walking around out there doing this.
Why? Big dog, you cover these stories. Why are you acting like this is happening because people are on their phones? I think it's super distasteful to say, hey, if you're not on your phone, you're not going to be a victim. That has nothing to do with it. Maybe they see you on your phone and think you're a quick lick, but it's not about being on your phone. These super gremlins will try anybody. Remember the story we did about that 6'5", that 6'5" Russian dude who got robbed by the super gremlins? It doesn't matter. Super gremlins, Burrito Gremlins, they're not basing the fact of if they're gonna rob you based off of, oh, he's on his phone. They're just like, okay, he looked green, he got something I want, so I'm gonna go take it. That's pretty much it. It's not about being on the phone. I think it's super disingenuous that they're trying to make it about being on your phone and being distracted. And pretty much making it a millennial problem. It sounds like that's what they're trying to do, make it a millennial Gen Z problem. Like, oh, y'all on your phone, so now you getting robbed. No, y'all been getting robbed. Stop playing.
Given the bandits are still out there, you kids, listen to your parents. Do not be walking around out there doing this, not paying attention. You could end up being the next victim.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.